the most interactive podcast on Twitch, with your host, Donnie, our OG mod, and yours truly on the switchboard. Coming to you from our live studio, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Game News Live.
Yeah.
Yay!
See? You see? Now it works. Because we just did an intro for the intro. So that was it right there. Hey everybody, welcome to Game News Live, brought to you by NerdJunkies.com. Yeah, are we like Wayne's Worlding now? 3. Is that what we're doing?
That's what we just did.
Okay, we are so production right now, it's crazy. We are.
By the way,
The
Clay,
production of the Zoom call.
your headset thing is showing. Might want to
Might.
take that back behind your ear. No, I'm
What?
just fucking with you.
You say, oh, like
Yeah, you gotta do it newsy.
I gotta like.
Wait, this is just coming in from the studio.
There we go. Be like, this just in.
Be like one of those Secret
Half-Life
Service.
3 is still
President
not
Secret
out.
Service.
This just in. Like something I don't know. Like I'm both in, so I need like I don't know. Do I?
Cover your ears, Clay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you can still hear it. Damn it!
You know.
Yeah, it's all good. Whatever.
Welcome everyone. Welcome
We're off to a
everyone
great
to the
start.
Game News Live show this week, Saturday. Where are we at? It's already February 13th. Holy
Tomorrow's
crap,
Valentine's
man.
Day.
Yes, it is.
And I'm pretty sure I remembered to do something about it.
Did you?
Yes.
And if not, now you remember to do something about it.
I'm just waiting for the wife to come in. It's like, did you?
Be like,
Mhm.
you better have. So there you go.
She's just gonna be opening up the closet doors like Momo and just be like, Did you make those reservations? Fuck.
Yeah, totally.
You still got a reservation, right? It's in the back by the dumpster. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Game
Off to a
news.
great start.
Y'all ready? Yeah.
Are you
Y'all
ready?
ready?
Brand new game.
Hey, look, Streaming Elements is telling us that we're now streaming Raft.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, trust
Well-
me, this is why I don't like using Stream Elements. I mean, I use it, but I don't like to save
So stupid.
under OBS. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, Stream Elements. Please fix. Anyways,
Anywho,
game releases. We only got one for this week, but it's a doozy of a game release.
it is a doozy of a game release, and it actually came out yesterday because next week is kind of like meh for game releases. So I thought I'd throw this one in there, and that is I don't know if you want. There you go. There's the website, the beautiful Nintendo background there. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Did you all like? Show of hands, Wii U owners? Wii U?
I still have
No.
a Wii.
Well, that's the Wii U.
I have the Wii
The
U.
Wii U. Okay, so the Wii U,
Sorry.
Super Mario 3D World was a Wii U game.
Yes.
If you all have played it, it's quite fun. It's multiplayer, run around, little 3D world. You know, like it's like a top-down kind of thing. You can turn them into a cat, so you can climb up walls. Pretty fun game. I will say that the bigger news on this. So for one, this is just like a re-release that Nintendo's doing. It's the same game. They're just charging you $60 for the same game again, like they've done with all their other re-releases. But Bowser's Fury is apparently quite good. I have yet to play it, but from what everybody's telling me, Bowser's Fury is basically an open world Mario game. It's not level based. It's not little individual worlds. It's open. And then that was very intriguing to me because I love Mario games in general. Yeah,
Interesting.
like I love Mario games as they are, and I'm very excited about this. I didn't really care at first because I've already played and beat Mario 3D World back on the Wii U, and then it was like, and Bowser's Fury, and I thought it was just going to be like more levels, like more Mario 3D World levels.
Oh, I see, like a DLC kind of thing.
Yeah, just like, oh, and here's another new world or something like that. And then I hear that it's like an entirely new experience. It's an open world Mario game, and I was like, So gonna buy that.
Good morning, Wondering Raven. Actually, it's noon now. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know,
Bowser's Fury, can't wait. Exactly. I hear quite good things. I know a few guys have already gone or who've started playing it, and they're just like, "Yeah, dude, you're gonna love this. You need to go in and pick that up."
I have one question.
Yes.
They are not going to stop selling it in March like they're doing with the
No. So
pack.
that would be amazing because the game is just going on sale, so it's going to be like you can get it for 1.5 months. No, this is not like Mario 3D All Stars / Mario 35,
and then it goes back to the limited Disney Vault.
Yeah, exactly.
For 10 more years.
You know, they did an interview with Doug Bowser, who's like the top dude at Nintendo of America, about this whole thing, about this like everything ends on March 31st.
Wait, what's his last name?
Doug Bowser is his name. He is so you remember Reggie Fils-Aimé?
My dad, yeah.
Your dad, exactly.
Gotcha,
so when Reggie left Nintendo a couple years ago, Doug Bowser took over. That is literally his name, Doug Bowser. And the internet had a field day with that already. It was like there was a whole thing about Bowser's taking over Nintendo and all that. It was like a whole big thing. Just look that one up on Twitter. It was huge like a couple years ago. So, but yeah, Doug Bowser even had an interview. They were talking about. They're like, "What's up with March 31st, man? Like, Mario 3D All Stars is great, and Mario 35 is great, and the little Game & Watch, if you want one of those, it's awesome. Like, what's up with March 31st?" And they were like, "Well, we're treating it like a celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary and blah blah blah." And it was like, cool. But that doesn't mean you have to stop selling the game.
But it's doing so good.
It's like Mario 35 is quite popular. It's good. Mm-hmm. Why would you just get rid of it? Like I've been saying a lot. It's a free game.
If it sells well, you get money for it.
I'm telling you, Nintendo makes some weird decisions every now and then. It's like they just this thing right here is making them a fortune. Okay,
mm-hmm. And it's probably going to be the Wii.
Yeah,
the best selling.
Nothing against this. I love this thing. So good on them. But then they do things like, oh, we're going to release this game and only sell it for like 5 months. And you're like, but why? Why? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, Nintendo games never go on sale anyway, right? So like they could just keep Mario 3D All Stars on store shelves for the next 5 years at $60. It'll probably sell.
Is Nintendo known for like... They're not known for keeping their IPs behind a paywall either way anyway. So why?
No, that's the thing. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. They said it's part of this whole Mario 35 celebration thing. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense to me because you can just continue to sell Mario 3D All Stars and people will still buy it. Yeah. Especially like as popular as Super Mario 64 is in the speedrunning community, it's like the #1 speedrun game. And now you just open it up to a whole new audience of like Switch players. Why wouldn't you keep that train going? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. So, like I'm not a marketing executive at Nintendo. So clearly I have no clue what's going on in the world.
But we're pretty sure we've seen the opposite in patterns of marketing.
Yeah. It's like, I don't.
Either way, but on the chats and Bra says, I'm waiting for Bowsette's Fury.
Hello.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Giggity goo.
We already have giant vampire ladies. Why not just add to the pool of just simping?
Yeah. Did you see the like size comparison chart? Like, yeah. Like, so she's like 9'6" or something like that. And it showed her next to like Nemesis and Tyrant and like Mr. X and stuff like that, and it was like, holy crap, man, that chick is huge.
So here's the thing.
Just like everybody's just looking at her, like
everybody's like looking down or up or whatever, depending on her size. Just like, damn. But here's the thing.
All right.
I have been watching those entire, like every single meme, and some of them made me chuckle. But the one that got me, that hit me really hard, was Deuce Bigelow's like audio clip as he's walking down. That's a huge. I was like, dude, that one got me, and I was just like, all right,
yeah,
all right,
that's a huge It's a movie, Mel. Deuce Bigelow magic.
She's like,
I know what it
computing.
is.
She's like, error. Yeah.
I know what it is. I was letting you have your fun. I was letting you have your little the meme funs.
That's right.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there is something about Capcom's choice. No, it wasn't. It is Capcom, right? Capcom's choice.
Yeah, it is Capcom.
For that lady, dude. There's just been too many TikToks about it, and I'm just like confused, but not
turned on.
I would say turn sideways. Take me, please, with your stilettos.
Right.
Step on me.
Death by Snoo Snoo. What up? Let's do this.
Wives comes in.
I mean, nothing.
Yeah. All right. So that was our only release for this week, right? Bowser's
next week's not the most exciting when it comes to gaming. So I just put this one. Technically, the game launched yesterday, but if you're a Switch owner out there, pay attention to this Bowser's Fury because I hear it's quite good. I'm going to probably get my hands on it next week.
Gotcha.
I'm interested.
Yeah. Next one up is rumor control for Overwatch. This one's kind of been a long time coming in some people's minds, but makes sense for me now why they would do this if they're going to do this. But we have quite a bit of information on this one, and none of it official.
Okay, so normal rumor control is just like you'll see some articles or some buzz, or like on Twitter, or like Kotaku is reporting that some dude's cousin's uncle's former roommate works at Nintendo and says that Zelda's about to be merged with Halo or something like that. And it's like at that point it's like, yeah, this guy said that, and that's why this rumor is floating around. The rumor right now for Overwatch, and this is on multiple websites, it's on multiple like YouTube Overwatch series, everything like that, is that Overwatch is about to be announced to go free to play, which is something they should have done ages ago. Like if Blizzard does this, it's only a good move. This game should not be $30. It is a microtransaction loot box machine. It should be free. But that being said, all these rumors about it going free to play, so BlizzCon is coming up. We're going to cover that here later in the show, but BlizzCon's coming up and the rumors are Blizzard's about to announce free to play for Overwatch. And it's like, that's cool. Help me, internet. Help me out here. I cannot find a credible source for this.
Someone from the development
This rumor
team,
is floating around and nobody has a source. Not the person's cousin's uncle's former roommate who works for Blizzard. Nothing. It is literally people just speculating because Overwatch 2 just got delayed, like officially till next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, somebody probably just went, I bet you they're going to announce free to play. And then that spread. Like somebody played the telephone game at that point. It was just like, oh man, I hear Overwatch is going free to play. And it's like, nobody has any source on this. It's literally just speculation right now. So it is under rumor control because it is floating around like a rumor, even though there is no source behind it. I would love it if somebody was like, yeah, Jeff Kaplan was overheard saying that during the investor call. No, he didn't. No one said
no one mentioned the thing.
Yeah.
So wait a second. So this article, I mean, the main article or the biggest publication that is on this one, who was that?
It was Forbes, right?
Forbes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Forbes, pretty credible, right?
Pretty big news, source.
Yeah. So you would think that they would include some source of their own.
But that's the thing.
We're just going to call you out now. Like, where did you get this information from?
I would love it if somebody could tell me where this came from. Or is it literally somebody wrote an article saying what they should do is make Overwatch go free to play, and then somebody misquoted that, and that's how it spread. Oh, Forbes said it's going to go free to play. And Forbes could be like, no, we want it to go free to play, which they should, because Overwatch is like 5 years old. It should be free to play at this point.
Yeah. Umbras in the chat is saying, I do worry if it becomes free, there are going to be so many Smurfs.
Oh,
this is true.
Totally.
But here's the thing. Okay, fine. Yes, when things go free to play, you get a whole bunch of newbies, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it would make sense at this time to start building up a brand new audience for something that is going to be Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they do that?
I'm telling you, this thing, all Overwatch is loot boxes, right? It's like when you level up, you get a loot box. If you want a new cosmetic, you can't buy it. You have to buy loot boxes. It's like that's their microtransaction. That's their economy. Anything built like that should just be free to play anyway. Like that's just how that is. Like you shouldn't like kind of like, and I know we were talking about this before the show, Blizzard, and I'm sure Activision's pulling all the the puppet strings on this one, but yeah, World of Warcraft should be free also. Like
Yeah,
Blizzard is still kind of, and I'm sure it's Activision, but even though Activision's going free to play too, like with like Warzone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they should be looking more to free to play games now, like free to play microtransaction supported stuff. Like why are people still paying $15 a month for World of Warcraft?
I feel like if a paid game, and I could be wrong, I feel like if a paid game that has been out for more than 6 months goes free to play, is almost the equivalent of a pop star going to Las Vegas for a residency. That's where they go to die. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's why World of Warcraft hasn't gone free to play, is because they promote their subscription base as still being worth it enough to be able to play World of Warcraft, to the point where they're trying to avoid going free to play as long as they can.
I think World of Warcraft, I mean, it's doing decent right now. It's not like where it was 10 years ago. They'd probably get more players if it was free to play with microtransactions. And they'd probably get more money out of it.
Probably.
Like,
or they could go to a whole season thing like with Destiny.
They could.
That's right.
Yeah.
They could do that. That would make more sense to me, but then you'd still have the huge fluctuation of player base, of your own player base, to the point where it's just like only certain seasons, and only if your season, the one that they bought into, is going to be worth it enough for them to continue on paying for the next season, right? Because this is what Destiny actually did. They released a season, and it turns out for the things that you got and for the content that you played, it just wasn't worth it for some of the players. And that's what went out into the internet, and people were like, yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy the season. So it's kind of fluctuates, right? You can't base your financial gains on something that's going to be perspective or what people thought that they were going to get, and then they're just burnt out, so they're not going to purchase it the next time until somebody that they trust says, oh yeah, that's totally worth it, you should buy it for the season pass. That's how it works for me. Like, I don't care what they say about the season pass. I care about what my hardcore friends say about the game, and it's like, it's worth it or it's not worth it. And then that makes me either buy it or not. But it is what it is. I think World of Warcraft definitely should be going like to the seasons situation, where you have the ability to play free and then only get cosmetics and stuff like that for the stuff that you're going to be playing. But anything else is just like you earn it with gameplay. I would think that'd be the best way to do it, because then you're going to have a solid player base for those who don't want to shell out their credit card number and earn it, and then be like, yeah, that was worth it. I'm totally going to continue playing it. And that's your player base now. It isn't based off of your microtransactions. It's based off of gameplay. So if you have a huge amount of people playing, doesn't matter what all for sales over here, it's worth it for them.
I hear it.
All right, cool. So we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to go to game news now.
Yeah. Hot and juicy.
Yeah, Terraria. I played this like about 15 minutes. Obviously, wasn't my kind of game, but I have a lot of friends that do love this game. Terraria canceled for Stadia after Google's customer service sucks.
Yeah. So
Surprise.
Not a great way to start.
Yeah, one of the co-creators of Terraria, basically, and this is a lesson to anybody in customer service. He was having some issues with his Google account. According to a Twitter post, he says, my phone has lost access to thousands of dollars of apps on Google Play. I had bought Lord of the Rings 4K, can't finish it. My Google Drive data is completely gone and can't access his own YouTube channel, and losing his 15 years of Gmail data. I have not done anything to violate your terms of service. So I can take this no other way than you deciding to burn this bridge. Consider it burned. Terraria for Stadia is canceled. My company will no longer support any of your platforms moving forward.
That seems kind of brash. Like,
but supposedly, and there's this whole article on Polygon about it, basically just kind of like detailing what he went through. Basically, he was trying to get good customers, or he was trying to get help for all of these issues he had for like over a month. And Google just kept running him in circles, which I will say this, as an Android phone user myself, I have a Pixel phone. And so that's like from Google themselves. I've had good and bad customer service experience with Google, mostly good. But I have had some really crappy service from them as well. So I get it. But if they're taking a month and just running you in circles, or like, we're going to escalate this, and then the ticket wasn't escalated and you're getting bad service and all that stuff, I can see it. And apparently this guy just had enough, and he was like, peace. Hey, Apple, how we doing? Who knows?
Yeah, my experience with Google service has always been, is there a person behind this? Or are they just accepting what I said? Right?
Yeah.
Like for back in the day when the what was it, the Nexus 7 tablets were there, and I bought them for my kids. I told them like, hey, charging port's all messed up. It's still within warranty. And they just sent me 2 brand new ones, and I just sent the old ones back. And that was it. But there was never like a level of, I know you're human because you said words to me that don't sound animatronic. But that was it. And then it was just fast, right? But then for other people who are having very specific issues, there's not a canned response for. So who do you ever hear from Google?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird sometimes.
Some people, like, for the last few years I've ever heard on YouTube, like sometimes their customer service is not the best at all.
I mean,
Right.
YouTube's a whole different animal, though. Like almost everybody I know who's a YouTube streamer or like has their own channels on YouTube, they all hate YouTube with a burning passion. They're like, it is the worst job is to be like a YouTube content creator because YouTube is the worst.
Yeah.
But what's their competition, right? Like
Vimeo?
Yeah, like where else are you going to publish your videos where else are you going to get that traffic? You're not, YouTube is it. So they put up with it. But yeah, like I wouldn't even say YouTube. I'm just saying Google alone. But like, yeah, YouTube.
But YouTube is
I hear they're the worst.
Google.
Yeah. No, true. I'm just saying though, like getting help with your YouTube channel, from what I hear, is just like, just give up. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Google, like I said, I've had good and bad experience with them, mostly good, but yeah, every now and then it's like, if
I haven't had any issues with mine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can see where it can be a pain
with your
point.
phone, or what do you have from your...
I actually have a Motorola G7, which I got from Google, and I use their Google Fi service, and it's actually not that bad. So
yeah,
I hear Google Fi's good. Yeah,
my son uses Google Fi, but yet again, there's no one behind the veil. That's the part that's just like a little creepy to me, because it's just like, hi, Cyberdynes, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like, who's behind there? By the way, on the chats, Robert joined us this week again. Welcome,
hey, Robert.
Thanks for joining us again. But yeah, that's Terraria's canceled on Stadia. Oh darn.
Oh
man,
I'm
not gonna be able to play.
What else am I gonna do with my Stadia Pro subscription?
Time to play on Steam.
I mean, I'll just use it as a Chromecast at this point.
Yeah, basically, it's like
loving Google Fi. Wondering Raven says, yeah, I hear it's pretty good, and I mean the perks are pretty nice too. The level of control from their subscriber panel is pretty top notch. But cool. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. ESA trying to bring E3 back as a digital only event.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting. So the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA, they're the group who owns E3, and it was canceled last year, of course. And then they had I don't know if you remember this, like Jeff Keighley did his whole like summer of games thing, where it was just like these multiple events from all sorts of publishers and companies and everything. It was pretty successful. I watched a lot of it. It was pretty cool. ESA wants to bring back E3 as a digital event. And sure, and I don't know about you guys here, I don't really think E3 is needed anymore. Like, I
don't think
with-
E3 is needed as
Yeah.
what it once was. I think
Yeah.
E3 needs to just, like what they're saying here, it just needs to evolve into just a whole bunch of web events now.
Yeah. So, I mean, ever since, and we're going back years here, ever since Nintendo started doing their like Nintendo Directs, and then Sony started doing their State of Play, and Microsoft is doing their like Xbox One. They had a thing in like London last year. I forgot what it was called, but it was like it was their big major event where they showed off like all sorts of new stuff. And it was like, with things like that happening, do we even need an E3 anymore? I don't know. Like, to me, I don't think so, because we're getting content from everyone individually now, that we don't need this umbrella of E3 anymore.
Well, I mean, Clay and I have gone to E3.
Yeah.
What, twice now?
Twice. Yeah.
Twice. And every single time you kind of go through some booth thinking this could have been an email, right? But
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, you're just like,
they pay a lot of money for those booth spots, but I mean,
exactly. So you're talking about an industry, right? An industry.
Yeah.
Like Vegas is no different, and we're from Vegas, so we know the difference. We're talking about an industry that is just like has been living the old way of doing things, but you're also, if you're going to convert to this, it's also hurting an entire economy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm glad that E3 was as big as it was, because it put games on the map. But now with everything that's going on and whatnot, and not only that, but certain content is just not that big for gamers, that if we wanted to search for it, we'd search for it.
So I guess you could make the argument that E3 also helped publicize like the little man, or, you know, woman, or, you know, like the little garageware software developer, game designer guy, you know, who's like making his game, and he has a booth at E3, and that's how they're planning on showing it off. But I don't even think that's a valid argument anymore, because if you look at like that person, that game developer had to go to LA and get a booth. They had to pay, you know, for that booth.
Right.
And pay to ship all their crap to E3, and, you know, pamphlets and demos and all that stuff for, you know, 3 days, and then then travel all the way back to wherever they came from. They could spend a fraction of that and just make a video.
Right.
And then use social media to spread that to everybody.
But you're also talking about like, remember when we went to E3, we saw a lot of indie developers that were just dying to show you their game, where I'm pretty sure back then it was a lot more, it was very difficult to get your game to be even noticed in like your indie channels, right? So you would have investors come in, walk through and say, hey, that looks interesting. Let's sign a deal for something and then get that going. I would see that as being the huge benefit to indie developers, or just developers looking to get a publisher, whatever. Yeah. But that wasn't us, right? We're just reporting on your stuff, which is probably a fraction of what they were trying to spend money on.
I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I think ESA trying to push for E3 to come back as a digital event. If you know anything about ESA, they're like a big lobbying group who really fights for game publishers. They're probably losing a lot of money by not having E3. And so I think this push for them to bring back E3 is just so they can get paid.
Right.
And that's probably, you know.
And then we're also talking about a generation who's still involved that holds the money, which is some of the older boomer generation that is just like, their relation, they're like Robert says right here on the chat, we still have to physically socialize at these events to build relationships, real person-to-person interaction. And there's a lot of people that even on like the younger side that still value that more so than they value, hey, we'll get on a Zoom call and get this going, or we'll just write each other an email. That makes sense. I just don't know if the value is still there for the majority of the people that are in that industry. It might be for other industries, but maybe video games, because we are on all digital landscape. Yeah, it's now time to move into that all digital landscape and make it the relationships the best way that we can using the digital platforms, I think. But
yeah, I get it, and I know, I just, if E3 comes back next year or this year, I'll say cool, I'll watch it. I'll pay attention. I'll be glued to all the streams and everything like that. But with the big three doing their own thing now, and Jeff Keighley's Summer of Games, and all the other events that are going to be happening, it's like I don't really see a place for it anymore.
Here's a good analogy. E3 digital video games. Yes.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to do it over digital. AVN, a little bit different.
Go on.
You see where I'm going? Yes. If anybody knows what AVN is, please use private mode or incognito mode.
What are you talking about, Joe? What is that? Is that like American Video Game Nation? Is that what that is? I don't know what you mean, Joe. What is that? Anything you want
Story.
All right, let's go on to our next one. CD Projekt Red is back on the news again
Every week,
and they got hacked.
They got hacksored.
Oh, I feel so bad for them right now.
So one of the guys I work with, we were just kind of like, joking around about this. Okay, so yeah, that's the big news here. CD Projekt Red was hacked, and no customer data was taken, or anything like GOG credit card info, like none of that happened. But basically, they lost source code to Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3, and I think there was like another game in there, but it was. A buddy of mine, as this guy is working with, he goes, maybe the hackers, now that they have the source code for Cyberpunk, maybe they can make it a better game. And I was like, that would be the greatest thing ever. So, like, let's say CD Projekt Red actually fixes Cyberpunk 2077. It's actually like in a working state, and they're like, okay, guys, Cyberpunk 2077 version 2.0 or whatever. Here it is. It's back on sale. PlayStation's listing it again, whatever. And then the hackers just release a free version that fixed everything. It's
or like, not just that,
it's
like
the free mod.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what this reminded me of? I don't know if anybody remembers. Maybe I'm too old for this, or maybe our audience is too old for this one. But here's the thing: that Valve had a similar situation back in Half-Life 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Half-Life 2 was almost near to completion.
Yeah.
And then they pulled it off. And this was back when hacking and all that stuff wasn't as publicized everywhere, because it was like investor relationships and all that other stuff. Like everything had a connection. Everything has a connection now. But back then it was more hush hush, right? Valve got their source code for Half-Life stolen.
Yeah.
For I think it was, what was the engine? It wasn't the game necessarily. It was the engine source code, and a lot of their
it's just called the source engine.
Yeah, the source engine, and the source engine pretty much would, if the source code was released, a lot of like malicious, like I don't know, hacking tools and stuff like that would have been developed from that. This is almost the same thing, but now 2020 version, 2021.
Yeah.
It's gotten to a point where it's just like you sometimes have to wonder, with everything that has gone in development and security, that CD Projekt Red was already having a bad year. That this cherry on the top almost seems like, if it wasn't a dumb move of security, it almost seems intentional.
Yeah. Did you okay, yeah, so I don't know if you read this yet, but they posted it on the actual CD Projekt Red Twitter account. The hackers left kind of like their ransomware ransom letter, if you will. I don't know if you read this, but I instantly flashed back to like the 90s, and I loved it because it's, hello CD Projekt, you have been epically pwned. And I was like, oh my God, it's like 1996 all over again. Like, holy crap. Did they really just say epically pwned? Like, are we like back in the movie Hackers now? Like Hack the Planet?
Let's take a look at this. We have done full copies of your source code from your Perforce server. So clearly trying to say that they already know what the server's name is.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. Oh, really?
Da hacksaws, Matt says. They're so elite.
So hacks.
They're so hack the planet right now.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet. But yeah, dude, I just love that. You have been epically pwned. I was like, oh my god.
Hacks!
Like whoever wrote that,
man.
it's like whoever their little hacker team is, like I can see like, haha, dude, we just totally wrecked CD Projekt Red. We're so awesome. Ha ha ha. Then they're like, who the fuck left an epically pwned on their server? Like, who says that?
Yeah.
John, what the hell? Okay, you know, and John's
almost-
like, what, man? We pwned them, bro. And it's like, nobody says that anymore, John.
Yeah. If anything, it would have sounded something that a script kiddie would have said
Yeah.
on their OneNote or on their notepad.exe. Just what?
Raven saying that this feels more of a fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pwned, son.
Whoa. Yeah.
Leet.
So basically,
radical.
so basically, the FBI is all like,
Patent
all right,
infringing.
so they're between 28 and 35. Got it. Yeah. Scully Girl says an inside job.
Yeah.
And hey, Scully.
Open shut case, Johnson.
That's right. They're so leet hacksaws. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Epically pwned.
Yeah.
I was like,
Still
wow.
though, this is almost, I would believe, the final nail for CD Projekt Red.
I don't see them going anywhere.
No, not going anywhere, but internally, it just has to be completely demoralizing.
I would say something, but I really don't want to jinx it for them, because then I'm going to get so many emails saying, "What did you do?
What have you done?"
Do tell, Mel, please.
I'm about to say.
Please enable your spam filter beforehand.
What's more worse that could happen to them?
Everybody pulls funding, and then Activision just picks them up for pennies on the dollar.
Wow, wouldn't that be crazy? Like
that would be crazy.
Like their stock has sunk so low, and then all of a sudden tomorrow it's like EA is buying CD Projekt and Good Old Games, and it's just like,
okay, we're gonna be the new Simpsons. I guarantee it if that actually becomes true.
They would like EA, but EA would buy them so they could merge Origin with Good Old Games, and now they have a new developer in their pocket.
Meanwhile, Valve is like Hodor. He's just like, hold the door.
Yeah.
The only one left. Yeah, that would
just
suck.
That would be tragic.
Speaking of Activision, shall
yes, well played, Mel. Activision, you're talking about the BlizzCon thing, right?
Yes.
BlizzCon.
We're going to talk BlizzCon now with the schedules and whatnot.
Yeah, just in case anybody wants to check that out, BlizzCon is coming up on this Friday, the 19th. So
all
if anybody,
digital, or are they still going to be doing like the whole?
This is all digital. This is what they're calling BlizzConline because it's online.
Play on words,
and it's a con online.
No.
I'm just gonna be watching Overwatch stuff. That's it.
Yeah. As I'm still addicted to Overwatch 5 years later, I'm going to be paying attention to them delaying Overwatch 2 and then trying to tell me why they want to charge me $60 for it. So I'm going to be watching that and saying things to myself like, there is no way I'm going to pay $60 for that. Can I pre-order that now? Or can I... Oh, it's not for sale? Okay, it's not for sale yet, guys. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but don't buy it!
No, down with Activision. They're the worst. No, seriously, on the Xbox, can I get that? Is that up for pre-order yet? Exclusive skin if I pre-order? 4 copies right now. Let's do this. Yeah.
Scully
I'm
Girl
not even gonna lie. I'm gonna buy it.
Yep.
Dude, has it been that fast already? Holy crap!
BlizzCon?
Yeah, it's like we've been living in our houses the entire time.
BlizzCon was supposed to be, and I don't remember this. BlizzCon is usually in the fall, like it's in like November normally.
November always.
And and it was delayed because of pandemics and words like that. But 4 months later, they say, okay, here's BlizzCon Online, and it's free now. You don't have to pay to get into it, or even in the past, they always did those like digital passes. So like if you wanted to watch all the panels and everything like that, you had to buy like a ticket to it digitally so you could like watch those. But now everything's going to be free, and they're also offering like gift packs. So if you want, you can pay money for like some swag, which is all
they've
like
done for the last few years and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
it's just like shirts and hats and stuff like that.
Well, it's all like in-game stuff.
Yeah.
So there's so there's like a $20, a $40, and a $60 pack, and they come with like in-game items. So you can get like exclusive like a mount for your WoW character, or actually there's one Overwatch skin, and it's a Reinhardt skin that makes him look like Jim Raynor.
That's actually for the
like with the whole
anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, it actually looks really awesome. It's like I think the skin is called Reinhardt.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
Like it actually looks really cool, and it's one of those things where when I play tank, I'm a Reinhardt main, so it's like I would totally love that because I used to play StarCraft myself, and it's like that looks badass, but I'm not going to pay $40.
Let me see. Let me see.
Scully, what skin are you talking about exactly?
It's like we have lost a full year. In-game skins in Overwatch, I remember Mel getting the one from before. Was it the Demon Hunter or Sombra? Is that the one you got?
That one you can actually get like from
they re-released it on anniversary last year. Yeah, I remember because a buddy of mine who I play Overwatch with regularly, he's a Sombra main, and he was like, he didn't want to buy the skin just because he didn't want to spend the money on it, but he was like, but then they said, oh, it'll be released later on, and he got it like the second it was released later on. So I was like,
I wish they would come up with a demon
there it is
for Genji.
Yeah,
is that it? That's it, right?
That's it.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
It looks cool, right? Yeah, and I would be all about it, but it only comes in the $40 pack, and all the other stuff that it comes with, I don't play those games. I only play Overwatch, so it's like I'm not going to buy it anyway. But it was.
So did they do a Kerrigan skin already?
Yeah, they did.
I think Widowmaker has a Kerrigan skin. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. I would have thought that she'd be the one to wear that.
Though?
Is it what?
I
Two
think
different
there was
types.
like
One's like Ghost and one's Kerrigan, like Swarm.
maybe?
Oh, like Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had two for her.
Yeah. Nova
Which
and
is
Kerrigan
perfect.
and-
Like it fits her perfectly as a character.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, this Reinhardt skin looks badass. I want it. I just don't want to pay $40. If only I could buy something on a microtransaction.
No exclusivity.
Activision.
It's just like Smite and their exclusive like con skins.
Yeah.
There is two con skins that I can't have because I didn't go. And it's like I can't even buy them. Like even if I wanted to buy them, I would have to go to eBay and hope that somebody's still selling that code.
Yeah.
And there's only a certain limit on them too, so
Right.
So yeah, so if you look at the schedule for this on BlizzCon, and this is just for anybody out there who's a big Blizzard fan or Diablo fan or Hearthstone or whatever you want to do, they're going to have like individual channels for every game. So there's the opening ceremony on Friday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific time. And then after that, it kind of breaks into individual channels.
Oh,
and so that looks pretty
2
cool.
days on here, right?
Yeah. So this is the 19th and the 20th. So yeah, it's next Friday and Saturday. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole channel just for there's a whole Overwatch channel, so I'll just be glued to that.
I wonder if they're going to address the whole Diablo and show off some more of it. What was it, Diablo 4 now?
So Diablo 4, they're probably going to show off some of it. As 2 weeks ago, I believe, during their investor call, they already said it's going to be delayed till next year. But it wouldn't surprise me if they at least showed off some gameplay of it.
Gotcha.
Like I'll say they should, just to kind of keep everybody interested in it.
Yeah, as we know, Scully Girl, we know it says we're playing Wrath.
it's stream elements that will not.
Stream Elements is just broken. But if you check us out on our YouTube channel, it's correct. So I don't know. Either way, let's go on to the next one, I think. Unless you got something else you want to talk about with BlizzCon.
No, keep going.
Okay. All right. So Last of Us TV series, the thing that we got teased about the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we now have a cast. Now, I I know who Pedro Pascal is because I watched The Mandalorian and I watched that garbage movie Wonder Woman 84 or 85 or whatever it was.
That's not his fault directly.
No, that wasn't his fault at all. He's a fine actor. Like
Great.
nothing against him.
He's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Come on, Joel.
But yeah. Yeah, so he was cast as Joel in the upcoming Last of Us TV series that HBO Max is going to have. The Ellie cast here, Bella Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of this girl before because I never watched Game of Thrones. But apparently she played Lyanna Mormont.
Yeah, she's technically like she's like a leader of a faction. Okay. But only because all her other family members have died off and she's the last remaining bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch the show, it'll explain it. But she's pretty badass in that show and she's pretty powerful too. The one thing that
she scared me.
Yeah, she was she was like a little person with very, very advanced, like adult, like
very mature for her age.
Yeah, very mature. But the fact that a child actor was able to play it off like that was just like so convincing that she's gonna go somewhere outside of Game of Thrones. And clearly it's on HBO's other new series now.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, and like I said, I never watched Game of Thrones, but you're pretty happy with that casting choice as her?
To be honest with you, I never saw Pedro Pascal as Joel. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to wrap my mind about it, but I know that they can do amazing things and be like, okay, I'm still hearing Pedro Pascal as his like accent. Yeah. So it's like I need to see maybe some, I don't know, clips or test footage or something like that. They'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But Joel was a pretty general character. He's memorable in the sense that the interactions with him and everything that happened in The Last of Us was made us like him more, just because he wasn't really playing like a hero or an anti-hero. He was just trying to stay in the line of survival. But the one that I was very surprised with is Ellie.
Yeah.
Because if you know her voice actor,
Dark Zero, vote for Pedro. Yeah, that's right.
If you know her voice actress, had it been back then, she still would have been a perfect cast for that role because she is an actress in real life and a voice actress. Mm-hmm. I would have assumed somebody that looks, not that it is, but somebody that looks like Ellen Page, something like that to that factor. But yeah, let's check it out. She's a great actress. I'm not saying anything wrong about it. Visually, without seeing any context of the show, it kind of flashes a little bit because you already know who these characters are from the game. Right. That you're trying to wrap your mind around the visual, right? Mm-hmm. It ain't all about that. We'll see how it goes. Anything HBO does with video games, it seems like they really put in their heart and soul with shows and movies. Mm-hmm. We'll just have to see.
Cool.
They've been on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts? Anybody would think of an alternative? There was somebody on the YouTube comments, I think like about a month ago when we did the whole Metal Gear Solid movie and who they're
Lord.
Oh, like Oscar Isaac?
No, yeah. Oscar and Isaac. That's what you said.
Oscar and Isaac, right? Yeah. Yes, because they're Solid and Liquid Snake, right?
Yeah.
Because they're
even though they're casting somebody completely different for Liquid. We're gonna leave that at that. So, anyways, in the comments,
they're identical twins.
Yeah. So anyway, in the comments they said Ryan Reynolds, and I was just like,
as Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. And I was just like, I don't think that guy could keep his banter to level of seriousness that Solid Snake would require.
I mean,
I was about to say, because it just seems like nothing against Ryan Reynolds, nothing against him.
Nothing against Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure he is a trained actor.
Yes.
If they wanted him to just be Solid Snake, he could probably do it. I just don't want to see that.
Probably because you've seen him do so much better as Deadpool and anything else.
Yeah.
More comedic. He's more of a kind of comedic type of actor.
Yeah, it's like not that he couldn't do it. I just don't. I don't want him for that role. You know, it's like Oscar Isaac. I mean, it's like, okay, sure.
So
But
anybody,
they
so
should
whoever
also-
finds that comment in the YouTube, shame them. No, I'm just
Oscar and Isaac
Yeah.
need to play identical twins. Which
Identical twins. That's the only logical explanation for that whole cast decision. Is both Oscar and Isaac need to play that person.
Both Oscar and Isaac. Identical twins. The twin snakes, if you will.
That guy has two first names.
It's because it's two different people right there.
All right, should we continue on to the next one?
Moving on.
Yeah.
Back to
All right.
Nintendo.
So Nintendo Switch is trying to do the whole Genius Bar on you digitally.
I saw this like yesterday or 2 days ago or something like this, and I was like, oh, we have to talk about this.
What?
Okay, Nintendo has opened up its concierge service. So Nintendo Switch Concierge is a new no-cost pilot program for new Nintendo Switch system owners. Participate in a virtual one-on-one meeting with a Nintendo representative to ask questions, get answers, and learn more about everything your Nintendo Switch system has to offer. Maybe I've just been playing video games too long, because like maybe it's like maybe I'm just the boomer who just knows things, and and my mind can't wrap around like new technology users. But like when I took this thing out of the box, it wasn't like, what do I do? Like
the files are in the computer?
Is this how it works? I don't like, what do I? Yeah. No, that's not it. Like, how do I, it's like, to me, it's this wasn't that hard to figure out. There's like the little power symbol right there. You hit that and it turns on, and then it says press A to continue. And it's like, I don't know, like who has a need for this kind of thing? Like, I don't like I said, like maybe I'm just too experienced with video games to be like
you know what it is.
New out of the box, what do I do with this? Or like I might need to set up a 30-minute session with a Nintendo counselor so they can go, okay, is it turned on? Okay, turn it on.
I like what Scully says. Like, this feels like going back to the days of when Nintendo had the call-in service to help people get past parts in games.
We were talking about that before the show. Me and Mel were actually the
totally
Nintendo Pro Hotline or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I was telling Mel, actually, a buddy of mine, this is back in like the early 90s, we actually called it one time. And then like we got help with this. We were stuck on Link to the Past, like in this one section, and like we didn't know how to get through it. And we got his parents' permission, and we called, and it was like a 5-minute phone call or whatever, and it probably cost like $87 or something like that. But it was like
worth it.
Totally worth it. We got past it, beat the game. It was awesome. but yeah, it's like, I don't know. I guess I just don't understand this concierge service thing. But then again, I instantly knew what to do with this thing when I took it out of the box.
I totally get what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And by the way, an OG on our chat, he's been here for a couple minutes now, but Chamo's in the chat. Welcome,
What's up, Chamo?
Hey, Chamo.
Here's the thing. The pandemic has brought about a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand with the whole holiday thing, their sales for Switches and all this other stuff. They're showing a family with 4 Switches on all of their hands. Like It's a lot, right? Nintendo is doing so well that I'm pretty sure people and their returns and everything, their stats for returns have been kind of like, what's going on? We don't understand, or maybe our kid asked for a Switch. We don't know anything about it. And parents are starting to get more into the whole parental control of things, that I understand why this service would be needed when parents might not know how to get around those kind of things. Right.
So what you're saying is parents just don't understand.
I see what I did. Oh, you. I got it. So something that I get asked a lot is, how do I lock down my kid's new Android phone or new electronic thing, just because I'm that friend for them, right? I'm that IT friend for them. I can see how a lot of parents nowadays, with the pandemic and everything that's going on the internet and how free it is, and even Nintendo has had to loosen up on their features just to get with the times, that I would see the reason why this is needed. especially when nobody wants to go out to, and there's no Nintendo store. All you have is text online.
Okay, I can see that then. Yeah. So what you're saying is this is more for parents than anything.
I would think so, because you're not going to get a kid who's going to be like, let me call up the concierge. I can't even spell that.
I mean, yeah, that's basically how technology works nowadays anyway. Like, if something's broken, you just give it to the kid and he'll fix it, right? So it's
don't remind me.
Yeah.
And look at other businesses, right? Like Apple is known for their Genius Bar. You bring in your electronics, they'll teach you about it, they'll even fix it. They'll fix it right there on the spot, or they'll replace it for you and whatnot, because that company is just so big that they've created a landscape for a lot of other companies. Like, remember when Microsoft stores were an actual thing, because they thought that they were that big that people needed it. It wasn't that they're that big. It's just their OS is just so self-explanatory at certain times that they just don't need a store at that moment in time. Just ask your next door neighbor who also has a Windows computer.
Yeah.
But for other things like this, where you're growing so fast and so rapid that that you have a brand new device that when you were a kid and you had a Nintendo, it's a power and a reset button, and you slide it in, you wiggle it around, maybe some alcohol swabs. I don't know how you got that information, but you got it from somebody. That now that there's a concierge for like regular errors.
Okay.
I could see why that's happening. But that's just my take on it. I think it's a good idea for parents. It's probably not a great idea for kids who just got a Switch, because they're just going to figure it out on YouTube.
I believe that you have to at least be 18.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
who are we kidding? People are most Switch owners are just going to be old adults anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I bought it for the kid.
Everybody I know who owns a Switch, it's like, even though they have kids, it's like the parents who play it. It's like, I know nothing but adults who play the Switch. It's like
Animal Crossing. Hello.
Yes, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So the moral of the story is, if you ever need help with your computer, hit up Joel on Discord.
Please don't. All I do is IT work for my own house.
But
as soon as I get off work, it's
I just want to take a day off.
Hey, Steam's not working on my computer. Literally last night's topic. Steam's not booting up on my computer. God damn it, Steam. All right, here, I'll RDP into your damn thing. Terrible. Hey,
that's Joel on Nerd Junkies Discord. There's a whole tech channel there. Just be like, Joel.
All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, so we got that. All right, so D-Brand. Everybody's familiar at this point? All the D-Brand, they do a lot of smartphone covers, really nice looking ones. That, by the way, not sponsored. They're just nice. I'm just saying.
I mean, look, if they want to slide me some free PlayStation 5 plates,
what is this?
Like, we can turn this into a sponsored, cast.
We do have someone that has some PlayStation 5 here.
Yeah, like I will.
Somebody won the lottery.
Yeah, I will lug my colossal PS5 here onto screen and show off these beautiful like black plates that you have.
Right. Robert recently got a PS5, so this might interest him as well. For those of you who don't like the color scheme of your PS5, which is probably everyone.
Literally everyone.
Yes.
So if you recall, there's already been a few companies who tried to do this. And they were either cease and desisted, or they were basically harassed so hard that they refunded all orders and canceled everything. If you look at this website, I would struggle. So Mel put the link in the chat there, but if you just, I think it's just dbrands.com.
dbrand.com shop special edition PS5.
Yeah, but I would highly recommend, even if you don't have a PS5, just go to this website and look at it, because whoever wrote this website, you can tell they have a sense of humor. Because even at the very top, like the very first thing you see, it's like dark plates for PS5, and then it's basically, what is it? It's like you scroll down a little bit and it's like dark plates, go ahead, sue us. And it's like the entire thing is about how they should get a Nobel Prize for releasing black plates for the PS5.
Yep.
and how it's legal because they're not infringing on any Sony, copyright or anything like that. And how it's like this entire website, the way it's written is just hilarious. And I'm like, because of that, it's like, I'm probably going to buy some of these. It's like, just because of the website alone, I'm going to be like, I see what you did there, and you're going to get my money because of that. Yeah.
It's always nice when they put in certain like wall breaking, like not businessy text.
Yeah.
And they actually like, oh, damn. Like this is poking the bear, I think.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. Because
it's hilarious. Yeah.
Sony is literally like taking down companies that are just like either trying to 3D print something just to customize your own physical box.
Yeah. What I would like next, and D Brand, Mr. and or Mrs. D Brand, who is the head of the company, because you're going to be watching this, Nerd Junkies podcast.
Yeah.
My next suggestion. So one already at solid gold here with the black plates and everything like that. Instead of making it stupid the way the PS5 is with its weird shape, just make it flat on the outside. Like make these things work to it, but give it a flat edge. So I can just lay it down without the stupid little hockey puck stand. Just make it lay down flat. And that's all I want.
Dude,
make that your next project.
And
like
black.
Sold. Yeah. The black is great. Love it. Like it looks awesome. But make it flat.
Yeah.
Like just straighten out the edges. And that's it. Like I'm good.
Yeah. It's almost like, who doesn't watch you guys? Of course.
Yeah.
You understand?
I mean, obviously. Everybody watches us. Of course.
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, what are you, some kind of loser or something?
By the way, Dark Zero says, I couldn't find the port forward on the router, so I returned it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't be D Brand. It would be somebody like Leanne Lee, where they were trying to do like the Xbox cases and all that other stuff. I would think that they would be the ones to come up with a full conversion external shell.
Yeah.
And then just transfer all the shit. Right. But it is what it is. I don't like the whole swervy look of it, but I know that it's a PS5 and I would rather not void my warranty, especially when there's a shortage. You know what I mean? But that's
so these, well, like I said, so the plates that you take off to slap these new guys on, they come off super easy and it doesn't void the warranty. So it's like, this is risk-free. You're just going to make it look better. That's it.
Yeah.
But I like this last piece down here where it says totally legal.
Totally legal. Yeah. Like I said, the way they wrote this thing is awesome. And I'm just like, everybody just needs to go just read this website. And that should convince you to, be a customer of theirs. Maybe they want to slide us some plates and we'll make a video out of it. Just putting that out there.
Just saying.
Review?
I'm just putting that out there, Like, we'll do a video of me taking the plates off and slapping the new ones on, and we'll do an unboxing, and then I'll have people just randomly come over to my house and be like, "Dear God, that looks good. What is that, Clay?" And I'll be like, "Oh, that's my new D Brand plates for my PlayStation 5."
I was kind of hoping you'd ask.
I mean, that again? Hold on. Let me tell you about my new D Brand plates on my PS5.
Yeah.
That's
Let me open up the
dbrand.com.
book that came with it.
Yeah, so look at that. I mean, it's like just like interjecting that into like any conversation to be like, "Clay, you got any more pizza?" It was super easy to swap out those plates too.
D-Brand, hit us up.
dbrands.com.
All right, let's go on with the next one.
Clay, I'm joking. Help me. And it's like, it was very efficient, actually.
The application instructions were just out of this world.
I tell you. dbrands.com.
And we're stupid. All
They're
right,
going to be like, cease and desist, Nerd Junkie. Stop talking about us. All right.
Too much hype. We need you to tone it down.
Turn it down. Okay, so, Joel, do you watch speedruns?
Sometimes.
Mel? Speedruns?
I watch them. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
pretty entertaining.
This week just started yesterday with their pre-show. The ESA Winter speedrunning marathon is going on right now. Not the ESA that we talked about earlier. This is the European Speedrunner Assembly. Think of them as the European Games Done Quick. And it's that kind of thing. It's a big 24/7 week-long marathon. Supports charities. It's going on right now. If you look at the schedule, there's probably what's going on.
Super Mario, I think.
I'm going to refresh here because mine.
Super Mario 64, 16-star blindfolded, which is really interesting.
Which is awesome. Actually, this same run just happened at Awesome Games Done Quick last month, and I watched it and I was like, "That's amazing!" Like,
dude beats Super Mario 64, 16-star blindfolded.
Yes,
bro. I don't have enough freedom for that kind of time.
Dude, I'm telling you, like blindfold speedruns are crazy to watch anyway. Like a few years ago, there was a race. It was like two runners. This is like during Games Done Quick. They did a blindfolded race through Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And it was like, what? like I can't beat Mike Tyson normally.
Are there enough audio cues to be able to understand the randomness that is Mike Tyson?
Well, that's the thing. It's like every fight in that game is basically like there's very little randomness in that game. It's like it's all about patterns. And so and they know exactly like how to set up the right pattern for each fight. So with Tyson, it's like they know it's basically like the hardest part of Tyson is getting through the first minute and a half. That's when he throws those like one-hit knockdowns. So they basically like just throw punches constantly at him, so he's constantly blocking and not throwing punches. So and that gets you past like that gets you past the first minute 30, and then his pattern changes and he doesn't do the one-hit knockdown anymore. And then at that point, they just kind of deal with him until round 2 starts. And in round 2, it's like they can do round 2 the same every time. Like and it's like just like 3 knockdowns really fast. And then he's done. And I'm just like, I've never beaten Mike Tyson. So I
remember you trying to beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah. And not while we were working
at all
on my PSP. It's like,
yes. You guys got that project done? No?
Yeah.
What? IT, this is Clay. I'm totally working right now. What are you talking about? Yeah.
What's that in your pocket?
Yeah, you're like, what? That's personal. And I don't think you should be asking me that in a workplace.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm offended. You should send me.
Yeah. I'm going to go to HR. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So anyway, Super Mario 64 16-star blindfolded right now is going on right now. This speedrun marathon is going on all week. So you've and then of course they're going to upload everything to their YouTube page just in case you miss something. But I love watching speedruns. It's kind of my jam. I'm all about it. So whenever these events happen, I'm glued to it like all week. Dark Zero says the best speedrun is the developers watch speedrun. I believe IGN hosts those where they bring in like the development team of a game and they have a speedrunner there and they just break the game wide open and like all the dev teams are just like, what just happened?
Why is this not fixed?
Why did he just walk through that wall, programmer?
Yeah. Somebody get me the original tester that was assigned to this level.
Yes.
And he's fired. Oh wait, we already let them go because the project was over. Get him back so we can fire him.
Bring him to me.
Again.
Yeah.
With these speedruns, one thing about the speedruns, I was able to learn how to get around a difficult area in Stranger's Wrath because of these speedrunners. So
I am not a speedrunner at all. I've tried it a few times on certain games, does not work for me. But that is a very good point. If you ever just want tips in a game that you're kind of stuck on, watch a speedrunner because they'll probably show you a super fast way to get around whatever problem you're in. And in a way that you've probably never even thought of.
Yeah. There was
cool.
There was a couple of times I watched for the Gears of War speed run where they skipped a lot of unskippable clips just by doing some weird stuff. And I was just like, oh, I could have saved myself a lifetime.
Yeah. It's like, how about that?
Yeah. All right. Well, for the next one, are we ready to move on?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. We're going to be working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
I mean, what a way to make a living.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
We are so funny.
9 to 5 open beta weekend. I'm not completely sure what this game is about, but Clay, if you'd want to explain.
So,
like a 3
Joe
versus 3 versus 3 first
Joe,
person.
do you like PC games?
I do. It's actually my favorite thing.
Do you like shooters?
I like shooters.
You like shooters?
Shooters and computers.
Do you like Steam?
I mean, in my coffee, hopefully. But yeah. Oh, you
do
mean
you like free games?
Yes.
Okay,
Wait,
you should probably play it this weekend then.
I like the setup.
What?
I watched a gameplay trailer of this. I haven't played it myself, but I watched a gameplay trailer of it. It's, as they describe, it's a 3 versus 3 versus 3 objective-based shooter. So think of Counter-Strike, but instead of like a 6-on-6 or whatever, it's 3-on-3-on-3. So it's like a 3-person squad 3 times, all trying to complete an objective or stop an objective from happening. Haven't played it. This trailer is actually it's really funny. It's like if you watch it, and it's not really representative of the game as a whole, but it is a pretty funny trailer. But the gameplay I watched of it's a first-person shooter where you try to accomplish an objective or stop something from happening, like people hacking a point or planting a bomb or something like that. But instead of 2 teams, it's 3 teams. But you know what, Joe? It's free. Okay, it's an open beta weekend. Just download it.
Sure.
Download it. Tell us how it is next week.
I might just play it on stream and see what it's all about.
There. Mel, you have homework. There you go.
Mel also has work. All right.
Yeah.
That's
you all
cool.
play it tonight. Let us know how it is.
I see the gameplay that's showing up on here. It looks very like what's that Tom Clancy game?
CS:GO? No, not CS:GO. Tom Clancy's
Rainbow Six Siege?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Definitely looking like they're trying to make it a little bit funnier than normal.
Yeah.
Not so serious, but I'll check it out. February 11th, and you just go to Steam and request access, and then there you go. You're all good.
But yeah, try it out. Let us know how it is.
Cool. All right. So next one and the last one is EA.
Go ahead.
What's that?
What was that say? Is this a weird link for this article?
Oh, for the Bloomberg stuff?
Yeah.
Clay, we're gonna need you to go ahead and sanitize these links here because I don't know where you're sending me here. Okay, thanks.
Oh, right. Shut up. No, so okay, then don't go to that link. I can give you a Twitter update if you want.
Nah, it's all good.
I can give you
it's Bloomberg,
the Twitter update where it
Swift.
told me to go to this article because it was like whatever. Yeah, so earlier this week, actually, so the guy who wrote this article, Jason Schreier, he's a pretty well-known game journalist. He actually put a thing on his Twitter account earlier this week saying EA is going to be deciding the fate of Anthem this week. And then yesterday he updated again and he was like, it's probably going to be next week. But apparently all the work that's been going into Anthem V2 or Anthem Next or like whatever they're going to be calling it, where they're trying to actually fix the game so it's playable. Apparently EA is finally going to have their shot and take a look at it, see how much progress has been made and decide if they're just going to kill it dead in its tracks or if they're actually going to invest money into keeping it going.
That's a lot of money down the drain for them.
Yes, it is a lot of money down the drain. Yeah. Did you all play this at all?
Ben has played it. He said he enjoyed it from time to time. He knows it's buggy, but it has a lot of potential, but it could go nowhere.
I played it for 4 hours.
Right.
I didn't see a lot of bugs. What I ended up seeing is it wasn't fun.
That's kind of where I was with it. I didn't even play it when it actually released. I was in the alpha and the beta test for it, and being in an early test, yeah, bugs happen. Like I don't even mind that because that's it. The game's not even released yet, right? But the movement's fun, running around and shooting, and even like the flying mechanic, it feels good.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. Like I did a few missions to, do whatever story, blah, blah, blah thing. And I was like, I just don't care. I just like this game isn't interesting enough to keep me playing, you know. And a buddy of mine, one of the guys that I play Overwatch with, he actually bought it because it was like $3 or something like that. And this is like a few months ago, and he was really trying to sell it to us. Like, and he was like, we should all get this game and we should all form up and like play some Anthem together and all that stuff. And like a week later, he was like, I'm so done with that game. And it's just like, yeah, it's not going anywhere,
it's
man.
Kind of sad
like,
though, because the way that they marketed it, I guess it wasn't the way they marketed it, but the people who were taking in everything was like, oh, this is going to be the Destiny killer. This is going to be the Destiny replacement. As a
which, you
as
know,
a looter shooter kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's a BioWare game, right? And they have, with exception to like Mass Effect Andromeda, they have a really good reputation, right? So this is one of those things where it's like, this could be really good, and then it didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. It was buggy, and it had no end game, and people didn't like it. And it was like, that's really unfortunate because BioWare's a decent developer,
right?
So it's like, it kind of sucks. Chamo says here, it's great gameplay, but it lacked everywhere else. Completely agree. It's like, it wasn't interesting. And yeah, I don't know. It just didn't keep me engaged.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I mean, when I pick a game, it's either because I already know the premise of it or I enjoy the story of it, even if it's just a shooter, right?
Yeah.
But it had not developed any of those things.
Right.
As a story, you were thinking, oh, this might be a huge universe and it will develop over time. Kind of like Destiny. It has a huge universe. It's always the same 3 factions or 4 factions now, but whatever. But it kept me, and the gunplay was amazing. But with this for Anthem, it always felt like, what am I doing and why am I doing it for? I understand what you're trying to tell me with the storyline, but I'm not as invested. And the only thing that wowed me about this whole entire game was the characters at the very beginning of the tutorial. The characters at the very beginning.
When you say the characters, you mean the humans or those like javelin things that you pilot?
The humans. The motion capture and everything, the character who you walk around in the training and watch them, and then they talk to you the entire time. It was very flushed out. Like they spent like half a year working out that entire front tutorial, and then Anthem. Here you go. Hopefully that just holds you over for the entire time.
Yeah.
It just sucks because it's like we want to like it. You're just not giving us anything we would like about it. That's
a really good way to put it. I wanted to like it because I like BioWare. I think they're a solid developer. I wanted this game to be the Destiny killer that they wanted it to be. And I usually don't even like those kind of like live service games like that. But I even told like all my buddies online, this is back when the game first came out. I said, look, the beta wasn't that amazing, but if you all want to play it, I'll buy it and we'll all play it together. And nobody bought it. And so I was like, all right, I don't even have anybody to play this with. So it's like, all right, it's over. You know, like I'm done. Umbral says it was unfortunate. It could have done well, but just nothing happened. Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen, you know, next week when EA is going to make this decision.
But do you think that they'll shut it down?
The game's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, and it has no player base. It's like, it has no player base. It has a lot of people kind of like in our position, though, where they want it to succeed. So I can see if they, you know, V2 it or Realm Reborn or, you know, like all those things, you know, like Final Fantasy 14 or No Man's Sky. That game was literally not a game, and then they made it a game, and now it's good. So it's like they could turn this around, but EA is not known for like following through and investing on stuff like this. Like it wouldn't surprise me if they just shut it down. I'm not saying they should. Like I would love to see what they're going to do with it, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if EA just pulled the plug on this.
I think the only other option that they have to try to build a user base is to make it free to play with a whole bunch of microtransactions that are just cosmetic.
Yeah.
Just like how Destiny did. They can't hold on to their player base with just everything that they did. That if you are really trying to get some of the Destiny player base that have abandoned Destiny, just make it free to play and start grabbing them from that pool.
Free to play would actually work for Anthem. It would do really well. Like, re-release the game as free to play and just microtransact everything. You know, like you want custom, neon pink skin for your javelin. Boom, $5. You know, and I hate to make the comparison, but do what they did with like Star Wars Battlefront 2.
And then
just add your little microtransactions into it and you're good.
Right. Take that time to build up your player base and then build up the universe so that way they have something to attach to it.
Yeah. And then introduce your season models and do whatever you want to do with that. But if they re-release that game and say, hey, we fixed it this time, we pulled a Fallout 76 and it actually is good now and it's $60, people are going to just be like, no, I'm not paying for that.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You're not gonna gain any player base just from that alone. And then the only players that did buy into it are going to ask you, why do I have to buy this game again? Kind of like,
it'll be free for I don't see them charging people again who already have it. It'll probably just be treated like a patch, basically. Like, hey, here's your new update to Anthem and it's 80 gigs or whatever. And it fixes everything.
If they decide to keep it alive.
Yeah, or if you own it already, then they're going to give you some free swag or something like that. Like here's $1 million Anthem bucks or something like that.
If they decide to keep it alive, and if they go free to play or put it for $5 or whatever, kind of like how they did with Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead Online.
Online, I'll buy it and I'll play with our community and see what they did.
Yeah,
and then we'll put in some 2 cents on there and be like, yeah, either jump on now and figure it out or let this thing lay to rest because it's on life support.
Yeah. BioWare, I know that they have a few studios and I know they're working on like the Mass Effect remaster that's coming out, a new Mass Effect game after that. Maybe it's just another one of their teams is working on Anthem right now. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out next week.
Yeah,
because I would love to see what EA is going to do with all this.
Will they report it by the time we're back online on Saturday?
Well, I hope so. The word, all we really have right now is just what this guy is saying, that EA is supposed to be, making their decision. So I'm assuming by, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we might know something.
Yeah. Let us know in the YouTube comments or in our Discord server what you think, and if you'd be down to playing some Anthem if they decide to keep it. I still have my EA pass, so I could still play the remaining amount of hours.
Oh, is it on EA Play?
Yeah, so you get 9 hours or 10 hours of the standard edition, so you can't play that. Unless they pulled it, I don't know.
No, if it's part of EA Play, then because that's part of Game Pass Ultimate,
right?
It's I wonder if I already have it for the Xbox.
Yeah,
I'm launching my Xbox app right now.
You're going to be sacrificing
free to play.
You're going to be sacrificing your data cap for it, but yeah, sure.
Okay, well, if the Xbox app on the PC, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
Open. Jeez.
You need to upgrade your PC, man.
Oh, man.
That was the upgrade, Mel. That was the upgrade.
Well, he needs a gaming computer, not a work computer.
No, he'd never be on it. If anything, he'd be playing Sudoku or Minesweeper or something.
Minesweeper?
Solitaire.
Yeah, me and my Minesweeper addiction. That's
that ski game where the abominable snowman just grabs you out of nowhere while you're skiing.
Oh, down. Like Epic's Winter Games or something like that. Yeah,
the thing that came with almost every Windows.
PC. Yeah, that game from God, that was forever ago. Now where is this? I'm on. Oh, show all. Here we go. I'm on the Xbox app looking at the Game Pass catalog, and it's the Xbox app is quite slow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It kind of bugs out whenever you go full screen a little bit and start scrolling.
Yeah.
But either way, for everyone who's on the show, we appreciate you coming to the show. Share it out to your friends, family members who are into video games, and join us on the Discord because we're always chatting on there. Yeah, let us know what you think, how we can improve on the show and everything like that. We'd like your feedback. But you can also check out all of our social media accounts over on nerdjunkies.com/social. Yes. Social. If you want to check out our YouTube page, just it's a link on there as well, nerdjunkies.com/YouTube. But we'll go from there because it sounds like we're about to get into a tornado here in Las Vegas.
I'm like, I have my window open here and it's like, it's gray.
Yeah,
like,
weird.
Oh, that's something. Okay. All right.
I already put the blackout things on all the windows, so it almost seems like it's not in here, but yeah, I can hear it outside the window.
There's a lot of gray going on right now, so it's like, cool. Las Vegas is, it's, I mean, God, the other day when it rained, it was like, man, we haven't had rain in this town in like a year and a half. It's like, this is crazy. Yeah. Las Vegas weather.
For me, I'm going to be playing some Raft this weekend or tonight, with a couple of work buddies. If you want to join us, that'd be great. I'm also playing Valheim on our own private server if you want to join that. But then that's...
How you liking that so far?
Valheim?
Yeah.
Super fun with friends.
Yeah. It's a Viking survival game, right?
Right. And it's super fun even by yourself. It's just obviously like resource gathering and everything's going to take a hit. And you're going to have to, like every dungeon that you go into, you're definitely going to have to make sure that you're careful. But it's super fun.
Okay.
Even though like it's clearly trying to be like low poly, low texture kind of game, it looks beautiful for what it is. So I don't know. I like it. Some people might not. But Raft, I just started playing last night, and that's super fun as well. I don't know if you check out our replay or our VOD on Twitch.
No, that was the game that I saw you streaming like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
You kind of got annoyed with one of my friends, and I apologize for that.
It's not your fault. There was some dude on Mel's chat, and it was just like, will you just mute this guy? He just would not shut up, and
they were doing pirate noises and stuff like that. It was just to a point it was getting annoying, but they would not shut up even after me asking them.
It's like, Mel, I want to watch your channel so you get more views, but I'm just gonna mute you. Okay, it's like
I don't blame you. Yeah. There is actually a way to mute you streams without not counting you or anything. Basically, if you just mute the tab, it still plays the audio, but it keeps you as a viewer.
Yeah.
Matty S says you are welcome. I assume that means because of Raft, because he's the one who's been
Raft is fun. I know it is.
Yeah, he's the one who's been telling me is like, you need to get this game. Come play with us. I'm like, but like, I need monies. I've spent it all on the studio now. But we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Hopefully this pandemic is over and we'll be back to our classic like banter.
Well, you two will be in the studio. I won't. Ugh.
He lives like 4 hours away from me. I'm not going to that studio.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if the pandemic was over, that probably
I'm gonna have to provide a shuttle. Yeah, possibly a trailer of some sort, maybe a road.
God, it is. He lives so far away. It's insane.
All right,
now, Matt will show up at your house any day of the week because he lives 15 minutes away. Me, I live like it's 8 hours of driving. I'm not doing it.
So
what?
Is there
a murder going on?
I don't know. It's the fire department's going crazy.
It's like, are you smelling smoke, Mel? Is that
It's not me. It's not here.
Chamo's like, Uber him. I could Uber him, but then that's every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
You have to pay for something.
That Uber is like $200 or something to get to your house.
Yeah. Either way, this kind of works. If you like it, let us know. If not, put it in the comments and whatnot and tell us how we can improve. But
I have to call them a town car. Oh god.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like I only ride in Uber XLs. So
the black Suburbans.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get out of here, everyone. We'll see you in the Discord. Appreciate you coming. Clay.
Thanks everybody for showing up.
See you later.
We'll
Stay
catch
safe.
you next week. And game on.
Okay.
Game you later.
Out here.